Hey guys, how's it going? It's Philip with Trade Genius. In this video, just wanted to take a look at the week ahead and take a look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So without further ado, let's dive into the Bitcoin charts. So Bitcoin's continuing to consolidate, and basically here what we have is basically we've been kind of in this channel here, up and down, and we do have a level of basically support here at approximately 12,860. That's this line here, and we also have this trend line which we're currently resting on, coming up from below. So my levels to look at here would be a break of this trend line, which currently would be around 13,300, 372, 13,372 approximately. If that were to break down, I'd be looking for this level to hold somewhere in here between 12,700 in that area, and if that broke, I'd be looking then at this fib extension of this short range here to finish out at 11,767. But typically when we get into mid-month, Bitcoin tends to put in a short-term bottom at least and then move cycle up. So if we're in that scenario, we're looking at probably going for this upper trend line at about 16,000. If we were to break that trend line, then we'd be looking at resistance levels of 17,250. And if that broke, the next area of resistance would be around 17,800 or so, and then all-time highs up near 20,000. I think considering the size of the move up, we probably will consolidate a bit more, but my leaning is that this is a green week because historically Bitcoin tends to cycle up latter half of the month. So we'll see how that plays out this week. So that's Bitcoin. So far, nothing really has changed. If you look at the big picture on the forks, our price fork, you'll see we're still within it. The bottom of the fork is about 11,890. So if we did move down to that lower fib extension, we would be testing the bottom of that. Typically, if you're getting to the top or the bottom of these, then price tends to reverse as it holds that trajectory. So that's where we're at on Bitcoin. That's the weekly view there. As far as Litecoin goes, we have basically more consolidating. Now, as with Litecoin, most of the time when it pops, it drops. And so we're basically sandwiched between two fib zones. And if we were to break this trend line and move down into this fib buy zone, which we've kind of been just hovering over for the last couple of weeks, the next level of support would be around the 172, 175 area. And if this bearish fib zone does play out to the downside, that would take us back all the way down, believe it or not, to the $78 level, which would coincide with this really long-term trend line. That's this dash line here. So I think more than likely, at the very worst case scenario, you'd probably bounce off this $100 level. That would be very worst case. I don't think that's really going to happen because lately Litecoin's been pretty much in step with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin cycles up, then I think Litecoin will probably test up to this trend line level. And but at some point here, we'll start seeing these things move again in size and speed, and then we'll probably break out through these levels. But right now, it's not showing a lot of signs in that regard. If we look at the market cap, we have pulled back a bit, and kind of similar to what we've seen with Bitcoin and Litecoin, kind of the same pattern of consolidation here. What has been bucking the trend is Ethereum. And Ethereum has had a great run up. It came out of this consolidation area. We said we had some targets coming out of that. Those were all hit. And then some, then it consolidated and then moved up again. So typically when we have these big run-ups, you're going to see, basically what you want to do is you want to look for signs of, are we nearing a top? And one sign is you could look at a divergence, which we got here. You're making lower highs on your RSI, but you're making new highs on price. So usually when we get up into these levels, and this arc here is a parabolic, basically a parabolic trajectory. So if you were to break or run into this, that's the area where you'd look to pull back. Sometimes you don't fulfill these and you get a bit of a break. These are the fib buy zones currently. We don't have any short zones. This is all buys, very bullish. So you look for a quick bounce in this area of 1250 or so. You look for for a quick swing trade. You got to be nimble though, but that'd be a spot. This is your momentum. This black line is your momentum moving average, and so generally you're looking to stay above that. If that breaks down, then you start looking at these lower moves. A healthy spot for a swing would be in this area here at 1050 or so, and that would should give you a decent bounce. Probably if we were to pull back to that from here, you'd probably look for a bounce up to about 1200 at that point. Otherwise, the larger term pullback, and you have to keep in mind when we run up like this, it's not outside, or it's not out of the ordinary to see like a 30 to 40% pullback. If we were to pull back to this support level here, it'd be a 45% pullback. That's not crazy. It's crypto. In fact, when we made this move up here, we had a pullback of 47% really quickly. I don't think you'd have a lot of time to get into that. If it was a pullback, I think they'd be pretty swift. But this 800 area would be a big swing, and I would definitely that would be a pretty strategic spot to swing long for a longer term trade on Ethereum. But probably not going to see that level anytime soon. I think probably that would be worst case. Probably a more realistic case is that Litecoin basically consolidates in this area for a bit before another move higher. But it has lagged Bitcoin since April or so of last year in terms of the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, ETH BTC, and so it's got some catching up to do. If we zoom out, sorry, let me get you a longer term exchange here. All right, see, so this was the all-time high back in June. Actually, we topped out at a high of 0.17485 Bitcoin, and now we're heading back into this bearish fib zone. So, but not a lot of volume up here. You see a lot of volume accumulated down here in this. So, we'll probably grind through this, but yeah, it was lagging pretty hard up until recently, and then it bottomed after all of the. This is all from the fork, drama and consolidation. So, it would not surprise me to make a run back to all-time highs, but we will have some gyrations along the way. So. Looking for a spot basically here on Ethereum to get nice and long and swing that higher for a swing trade. So that's basically it. In summary, Bitcoin looks like we should see a cycle up move. Same for Litecoin. And then Ethereum, we're just looking for it's looking a little toppy here, and looking for maybe a pullback and into those levels that we discussed earlier. So that's pretty much it for the week ahead, guys. Hope that helps, and we'll get you another update here tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate the subscriptions. Really helps us out with getting these videos out every day. Also, we do have some winter specials that are expiring in less than 24 hours, so the link below if you want to take advantage of those. All right, guys, thanks again. Take care. See you on the next video. Bye.